Baby's position in the womb and in your pelvis can be important for your upcoming delivery, but what are the positions they can be in, and what is the extra bad news about this entire situation? Today I'm going to go over it so you guys understand a little bit more about baby's positioning. And just in case we haven't met yet, hello, I'm Hillary. I'm the pregnancy nurse, the owner of A Crocheted Pelvis Baby. And don't forget the uterus and the placenta. I've been a nurse since 1997. I have 20 years of labor and delivery experience, and I am here to get you prepared, not scared for birth, and this can be kind of a scary thing, so let's go over it. The first position that most babies are going to be in once they head into their third trimester, side note, this is noted on any ultrasound that you get. They say what baby's position is in the womb, so you can always ask your provider. Just because they were head down at your 20-week ultrasound does not mean they're going to stay there, though. Baby early on has lots of room to do lots of gymnastics in the womb. So it would be in later ultrasounds, and there are ways that we can tell which way your baby is facing. I have a whole video on that. I'm going to link it down below. So baby is normally head down in the third trimester because this noggin of this baby is full of bone, and it is the heaviest part of the baby. And so it automatically floats down in the pelvis. They say that 96 to 97% of pregnancies will be cephalic or head down by their due date. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to be head down at 32 weeks of pregnancy. So that's something to keep in mind of as well. But most babies flip. That's what we're learning there. And really quick, if you're in your third trimester, I actually have a whole third trimester checklist that you guys are going to want to download. I'm going to link it down below. It has tons of helpful things, newborn necessities, postpartum checklist for you. Great way to get organized. It's totally free. I'll link it down below. Now, the other option is breech, and that means when the head is basically up. So baby can be sitting crisscross applesauce in the womb. Baby can have one leg kind of underneath them in the womb. Normally they're not like standing up in the womb. One leg is like curled under, and then the other one might be bunched up. This is let me get the pelvis out of the way. This is kind of a frank breech where the legs are folded up like this. And if your baby's like that, a lot of times when they come out of the womb, we'll pull the legs down and then they come right back up. But normally not an issue at all. All of these can be very normal presentations for your baby. It does not mean that baby is not going to be growing as well. It just may have impact for your delivery. And if baby is breech in the United States, most often they will encourage you to have a C-section. That's not what this video is about, but overall they believe that the risks of a C-section are lower than the risks of a vaginal delivery if your baby is breech. So that's something to consider as well. Some providers will do a breech delivery, so talk with your provider about what they do. Of course, nobody can force you into having a C-section, but that's something to consider as well. Their expertise may not be all that great surrounding doing a breech delivery vaginally. Finally, baby can be transverse because there's all different ways that baby can be in the womb. So if baby's not directly head down, that's cephalic, and directly not like heads up with their bum down, they can be transverse. So that means they're kind of facing this way or wonky a little bit. These are often babies that do real well with what we call a version, which is where they apply some pressure to get baby's head to descend into the birth canal and make them completely cephalic or head down. But some of those babies can be really tricky as well. So there's lots of different positions that your baby can be in. And the real bad news, as I mentioned in the intro, is that baby can actually change at any point in time. Your baby may have been head down for weeks or months. And then right at the very end, they're like, no, I was thinking about putting my feet down. They get to make up their mind. Now, the statistics do show 96 to 99% of pregnancies are going to be head down at, term delivery time. But your baby can change their mind at any time. And you will find this as a parent, that your kid can change their mind at any time. And there's really not all that much you can do about it. It's not something to be freaking out about. It is extremely rare for baby to decide to turn, but it can happen. So I think that's important to know as well. Now, is uncertainty really bothering you during your pregnancy? That's my question for you. Tell me down in the comments. There's lots of uncertain things, and I think everybody deserves a birth class that goes over these less fun parts of pregnancy where you may need a C-section or an induction or an episiotomy or things like that. Make sure that you're getting prepared for these uglier parts of pregnancy that just aren't as fun to look at. I have a birth class that I recommend that does just that. I'm going to link it down below. Now, so many of you might be watching this saying, Hillary, I have no idea which way my baby is. I actually have a whole video on how to tell where your baby is, or how your provider can tell where your baby is in the womb. I'm going to link that one up above and down below. But thank you for joining me, my crocheted baby and my crocheted pelvis, here at the Pregnancy Nurse, where we get you prepared not scared, for your upcoming hospital birth.